going to be actually diving deep into Azure Striker Gunvolt 2. If you recall last time around, we completed the first game, collecting the last couple of jewels and tackling those pretty challenging last couple of stages. The final stage with the fights against Nova without our auto dodge that the game starts you out with, which yikes. And then a pretty solid denouement little stage, escaping the firmament and taking down the adept extremist Asimov, who proved to be pretty challenging. And then we tucked into the surprisingly deep and lengthy opening stages of Azure Striker Gunvolt 2, which introduced us to a brand new playable character, Copen, who was an antagonist in the first game, who, based off of my experience with him, is, like, insanely powerful. Like, again, looks like he's gonna be a little bit less flexible and trickier to work with overall than Gunvolt was. But, you know, holy hell, what we can do with this guy, because his primary weapon is so powerful. So we're actually going to try playing through the game, or what we can of it, as him first. And then I'm guessing there's going to be some kind of reward for going through as Gunvolt as well. Maybe you need to beat the game with both of them to unlock, like, the true ending here. So I don't know. But yeah, we're going to take on the bulk of this game as Copen, and first I want to check out his loadout, what exactly we have. So we don't have any additional special moves to use, just kind of his version of the electro field. We have to, like, physically tag enemies by charging into them using our all-directional dash, and then can, like, hold down the circle button to zap them really, really quickly. So he's got Prevasion, and he can hover right after a dash. Okay, so all of that's there. And it looks like... Do we... Okay, I'm sorry, I'm checking this out. Because, like, as Gunvolt, we had up to 4 skills at a time, right, mapped to each cardinal direction on the right stick. And you could switch them out as you unlocked more and more. I think throughout my playthrough, we earned maybe 6 or 7 different skills. And it looked to me like Copen can only have 1 at a time. And it's mapped to the right stick. So yeah, I guess we'll use the Shred Storm, which is the one we had in the opening but never used. Okay. Also, correct me if I'm wrong, I'm just gonna go back one more time to check this out. He does not have additional, like, primary weapons, like how Gunvolt can get different, well, handguns that have different, rates of fire and shot patterns, adjust the number of target locks he can have active at one time. Copen does not have that, so he's going to have, like, a ton of really modular skills that adjust the way he deals damage to enemies, or seems like, based off of what we've seen so far, ameliorates damage with different skills. So that's kind of interesting. Now, our villains this time around, at least appear to be Zonda, the lust-based boss from the first game that we actually didn't get to fight, and her 8 guardians, or I think 7 guardians of Eden, like, think the Brotherhood from X-Men, attempting to create a state of adepts, like these gifted metahumans, by any means necessary. And we're going to start off by tackling this stage, the Frozen City, because I think the boss here is the same one we fought at, like, a fraction of his full power at the end of the intro cutscenes, or the intro stages. You know, the ice-based boss? He's supposedly the commander of the Guardians, and he's got what looked like he could form, like, saw blades out of solid ice and, like, toss them across the stage boomerang style. So since this is the only boss we know for a fact what they do and kind of how they fight, I'm going to get them out of the way because, well, they'll be the least interesting. Let's go ahead and view our mission briefing.
この近くにある町が突如として氷に覆われました。都市機能は麻痺し、その混乱に乗じ、エデン構成員が占拠した模様です。氷。
Yeah, Tenjian, that's him.
化け物も氷の能力者だったな。はい。そのテンジアンは
Now we were able to bring him down pretty easily in the intro because he was using like a reverse engineered glaive, you know, the big great sword looking things that adepts use to channel their powers. So he had, like, I'd say roughly a third of the health we'd expect an actual boss to.
不利な地形での戦いになると思われますので、こちらで支援物資を現地に投下します。
Oh, nice. So these are all of the prize materials we can obtain. Okay, guys, let's give this a shot. Let's strike. Icebound. Demons call a frozen city home. It's a microcosm at rest, the embodiment of how man and monster cannot coexist. And I thought the whole point behind this series, or like its narrative, was a bit like X-Men, demonstrating that adepts and normal people can live together, but okay. And it looks like these guys are going to serve as Eden's, like, frontline combat troops, the mechanical soldiers, replacing the, public eye-looking Sumeragi troops from the first game. Oh, that hover ability is really gonna come in handy here because ice physics are in full effect. They're not too bad, just a little bit of slip and slide. So we can't get behind their shield, that's nice. Oh, jeez. Didn't mean to have to use Prevasion that much already, but whoa. Let's hold on. I'm always wary of games like this just suddenly rapidly accelerating your character in a given direction. Because there's usually a pretty solid chance that it's going to accelerate you. Oh, hold on, we got treasure up there. Now, are you going to be a metal or something? Yeah. Oh, and it looks like once Copen tags enemies, his bullets automatically home in on them. Oh, dude, that's cool. So what is this? Oh, that's going to help us. Oh, sick! It nullifies the ice physics. That is actually going to come in extra handy because I have a feeling this is going to be a platforming heavy stage. Oh yeah, now this is where it's at. And, oh geez, I can already tell these sections would be much tougher without the coating. Just want to make sure there was nothing up there, because I have a feeling that this stage, or this game is going to have something like the jewels from the first. So we've got the famous, like, appearing and disappearing platforms from Mega Man making a return, but real quick, hold on, I wanted to check out what's down here. Our first run through of every stage. Oh, nice. I'm going to try to explore as much as possible to make sure we get, well, as much treasure as possible. Oh. No fun. There we go. Another medal. Thank you very much. Oh, the icicles damage you. Good to know, I guess, but hopefully we won't have to navigate around too many of those. Let's do it. Heading inside for the second half of the stage. If it's anything like Gunvolt 1, we'll have 2 halves of a stage, effectively 2 screens, and then the boss. Oh, it's Gunvolt. Are we going to square off with him? Oh, yeah, looks like it, because Copen's like a confrontational asshole. Yeah, he's really far gone. It began with a plea from my father. He studied Septima. He knew the danger adepts pose. But Sumeragi decided Septima, so they had him silenced. Well, it's hardly the adepts' fault, isn't it? It's the power companies. Oh, whatever. So we have to drain his energy by baiting out his prevasion, right? All while he tries to do the same to us. Hopefully good old Copen gets some character development. Oh, yikes, that... Oh, it looked like it could have been dangerous. Oh, Christ, he's tagged me. Yeah, once we lock on, the fight gets much easier. And silly me, for whatever reason, in this fight, I forgot what button dashed at first. Yikes. There we go. Well, I didn't do a great job of dodging his shots, but Copen's so strong, it wasn't much of a problem. Have a feeling we're gonna square off with him a few more times. He didn't use any of his, like, special skills as a desperation move. I'm kind of surprised at that. Now we're on to the second half of the stage. I don't know if it's that, some kind of sprinkler robot? Oh, the Septima are actually a bit more active in the stages now, or the adepts are, rather. I do appreciate that. Oh, and we can charge through their shields. That is super good to know. Hey, MC, how's it going? We are in the middle of taking on... How's the power of anime today? It is quite strong. We just had a kind of mini-boss fight against Gunvolt, and we're trying to take down the Ice Adept. Copen is exactly my kind of overpowered. Just dash through their shield, and we found out just now, basically, that his dash causes his regular gunfire to automatically home in on any enemies that are tagged, which is pretty nice. Oh look, it's these again. These are... Let's see, yes, how cold is the protagonist? Well, in this stage, the answer would be fairly cold, as you can see. But in all seriousness, what on earth is that? Some kind of flamethrower robot? In all seriousness, he's kind of a villain protagonist. the gist of it is, his father thought that adepts were dangerous, but Sumeragi had him killed to keep him from speaking out against the dangers of these powers improperly harnessed. So instead of trying to really get revenge on the corporation that killed his father, his main goal is exterminating all of the metahumans, because I guess they're dangerous even though they didn't do anything to him. We get the sense this is going to be addressed through character development, but he's likable from a gameplay perspective, not a character perspective, we'll put it that way. I like his assistant a whole lot more than Gunvolt's. Oh, ouch. Didn't mean to do that. What we got over here? Oh, just some health, I think. Wait, sorry, have to go back. Did we miss anything down there other than one of those platforms that'll make... MC says he's prejudiced and turned it into an obsession. Well, rather, he seems to be directing all of his rancor at entirely the wrong people. Like, as we suspected, we learned at the start of this game that Nova, the villain from the first game, actually wasn't that important in, like, the Sumeragi power structure. He just kind of controlled their adept development and recruitment scheme, and wasn't like some high-powered corporate exec or anything. It's normal people who have been doing, well, all of this. Oh, yikes. What do you do? Hold on. Sorry. Did I not have that skill equipped? I should have that skill equipped. Whoops. Well, if I don't... Oh no, it's because somehow it seemed to think that I selected the cure skill rather than the attack-based skill, but even still, I doubt that that one would break through this. Okay. How are we gonna do this? Yeah, so... unlike Gunvolt, who seems to be based around wearing enemies down from a safe distance, not exactly slowly, but we'll say steadily, Copen's all about just wrecking shit as soon as he comes within 10 feet of anything. Like, the boss battle against Gunvolt, once I remembered which button actually dashed, did not last long at all. MC says turning anger towards the wrong people. Like, yeah, that is a big problem, and it's certainly his problem. Oddly enough, I know I keep making comparisons because I guess it's like the only anime universe I'm largely familiar with, but, this is basically a plot line in, Yu-Gi-Oh! GX's second season. There's, like, a vengeful card player, because everybody plays cards. It's a world controlled by gambling over a children's card game. Who decides to use, like, his card designer father's, creations that he made just because, like, he loved superheroes and wanted something, I guess, kids could enjoy. Like, you know, fun characters and illustrations and all that. On this bizarre path of vengeance against random card players that have next to nothing to do with his father's, death or abduction, depending on the series or the version of the series you're watching. And it's like, yeah, it's weird. Misplaced anger kind of seems to be a big ol' anime trope. And here he is. Now, if Gunvolt could take down a weaker Tianjin pretty easily, I'd imagine Copen will be able to shred this guy and no problem whatsoever. BRB, no problem, man. So they're not using glaives. Either that or Zondas appear as like spellbooks. Alright, let's take down Zonda's captain of the guard. Oh hell, I'm taking damage like you wouldn't, or taking hits at the least, maybe not damage, but like you wouldn't believe. So, this guy's just an out-and-out, like, social Darwinist. He's not even in this for making a better world for addicts. Okay, yeah, I'm okay with fighting this guy then. Ow. That seems to be easily his most punishable attack, but hold on. He's got an ult, right? Frigid Blossom, okay. Oh, jeez, it's a giant laser. And an instant kill move. Okay, so if the conclusion of the first game is any indication, a lot more bosses are going to have that kind of ultimate move. Looks like we've got a split second to dash out of that aura once he fires it, or we're like toast. Okay, well, we know the rest of the fight a little bit better now. He's gonna throw out those twin discs, leaving himself wide open, thankfully. Or should. Oh, or not. That's the one. Thank you, sir. And then he follows it up with, like, a dashing slash. Okay, so now he's gonna freeze the place. Alright. Instant kill time. Yep. Are you friggin' kidding me? So he does it multiple times over. That's, jeez. Well, I hate that we're having to rely on the anthem, but yeah, that's a hell of an ult. Okay, not the cleanest victory, but we got him. Nice, nice. So I'll be terribly honest about this. I don't like that ult. I don't like the idea of a massive, like, instant kill aura taking up like a third of the screen, striking multiple times in very quick succession. Totally unannounced or untelegraphed. That's not entirely on, seeing as how, other than Asimov, no other character from like earlier in the series, or the first game. Oh, see? Are you kidding me? It's probably because we died. Oh, that's alright. We got the Hailstorm Blade. And completed a challenge. I guess challenges don't have to be active anymore? I set about analyzing the second mirror shard, and I learned something quite surprising. Each shard contains a different adept's essence. Adepts transform by infusing shards with their abilities, and the muse does the rest. Presto, an imitation glaive. So he is going to get, like, boss's abilities a la Mega Man X. The EX system lets me install shards into Lola, then she can use them to recreate Septimas, which I can use during missions. I just have to switch from Stellar Spark, the one modeled after Gunvolt. So they're like different movesets entirely? Yeah, this is straight up Mega Man. We've got like a special gauge for using these weapons and everything. The gauge refills by itself, but can't reload like bullets. I'll just have to watch it if I use an EX weapon. Right. Alright, so he's down. And let's check out our loadout. Real quick, we're gonna go over to skills. And yeah, this is the one I want. I don't... Oh, maybe it's activated using the triangle button for whatever reason? Okay. A weapon capable of multiple slashes. So we can charge this all about, or we can change this about, in the midst of a mission, I'd imagine. Let's see, challenges. We completed one, somehow? Oh yeah, defeat 10 enemies, that's an easy one. Got a couple polymers, what else do we need to do? So there's way more challenges per stage this time around. Alright, so I guess next we can take on Babel, the orbital elevator from the first game, right? Yeah. Welcome back, MC. We managed to take down the boss with the help of the Anthem-like boost. Because, like Asimov, that guy had an instant kill ult. But unlike Asimov, his was a massive beam that covered about a third of the screen and fired off multiple times in quick succession, without really any telegraphing. Kinda weird given the rest of the fight was pretty easy, but eh. Now we're heading into the orbital elevator. Well, no, sorry, we're not quite yet. We're gonna see what we can synth, or if we can synth anything. Not yet. It'd be great if you could buy materials after, you, like, acquire them for the first time. If only so you have more to do with all of that money you're collecting. Alright. I was suffering from a bit of a heat stroke? I'm so sorry to hear that, man. Are you alright? Feeling... Oh, the goddess in the tower foretells disaster, but the warrior's faith in his god tells him to defy a fate set by monsters. Raveled. Look after yourself, alright, man? There's our skill. Now, let's see what we can do with Copen's other movesets. Or his other moveset, I should say. Yeah, it's not serious? Well, I'm glad to hear that, man. Just... be kind to yourself, you know? So, Desna is the commander here, and right now we're using the ice-based weapon, which, holy hell! Okay, so tell you what, we're going to stick to our rechargeable electro field power for now, but, yeah, that ability's the truth. So the goddess has taken over the orbital elevator, and... her hair is running all through the tower? Oh, that's interesting. MC says this is why you don't fix a roof in the middle of the day during the summer. Oh, amen. It's been absolutely scorching over here for the past, oh, I'd say 3 weeks or something. Huh, so... I get the feeling she's kind of going to fill in for your standard botanical boss, like hair running all throughout the tower like vines, and oh, these platforms look like they're made out of Zonda's mirrors. And they shatter pretty easily. This is really cool. It is nice to be able to actually explore the battle elevator properly this time around, since last time we just used the elevator itself for a really cool boss rush and didn't get to see too much of the facility itself. So against regular enemies, Copen is just an absolute, like, master. But if most bosses have some kind of one-hit kill ult, I'm gonna be really, really frightened. Oh yeah, we should have spoken to Meadle back at base, but oh well, we'll remember to do so next time. MC says Copen leveled up, edgy plus 100. Yeah, you're not lying. He's, again, as a character, a bit much, but as, like, an avatar for the player, oh my god, yeah. Oh my god, so much hair. Yeah, so there's a gate, sure, but there's also treasure on the other side of this that I can't get to. Maybe it's gonna be like, oh, ho, okay. I was about to say maybe we need to come back here with, like, a new weapon later on. And, like, burn the hair somehow, but, no, this'll do. Oh, this is gonna be so difficult, but something tells me we really want to do this. Now, Copen, you can fly somehow, right? Okay, so this bit probably would be much easier as Gunvolt because he could control his fall. Oh, there we go. Hey, hey! A memory expansion. Nice. This will allow us to use more of those, like, special, I think, ability chips that it's going to take us ages to craft because of the game's component system. I'm a little torn on that crafting system, actually. It just feels like it takes way... I know they want you to revisit stages and all that, but it feels like it takes way too long to get the materials needed to craft even really basic things. So, are all of these foot soldiers adepts as well? Given Zonda's ideology, I'd imagine so. Okay, now hold on. I saw something over here. There we go. That's the good stuff. Oh right, and thanks to our options, like, I think physical projectiles pose absolutely no threat as long as we're not using our electro field. Or other, like, boss-related weapons, I would imagine. MC says did some more training in Dark Souls, oh yeah? Still enjoying it? Getting the hang of parrying. Oh yeah, no, you're probably already better at that game than I am. We'll be digging into the second one before long, and let me tell you, that's a fun time. Oh, these things are shooting out binding coils of hair. Okay. Gotta appreciate that kind of dedication to theme. Oh. Alright. Might be better, yeah, just to dodge these guys. So I'm going to get terrible scores because it looks like the way this works is your score accumulates with certain multipliers between every checkpoint, but if you get hit 3 times, even if you auto-dodge it, your entire score gets tossed. That's the kudos system. Now, what do you want to bet there's something over there? Yeah. Oh no, that was like a shortcut, it looked like. Okay. So we're going to square off with the goddess on the orbital elevator proper. Again, it looks like. Yep, here we go. Or, no. Her devotees are going to try and hold us off. Emphasis on try. Well, at least unlike virtually all of the Sumeragi folks, Eden's commanders seem to be pretty popular with their troops. That's something, right? Oh no, we're still not there. Oh wait, yes we are. Here we go. So this is Eden's goddess.
分かっていました。そして星の光はこうも告げています。来訪者は私たちの同志パンテーラの未来を阻む存在だと。星よ。
Okay, so aside from using... Oh, look! Her spellbook, like, shot forth a massive wave of hair. Oh, this is a pretty cool design. I think, based on what I was able to read while I was platforming of, like, the stage dialogue, she's supposed to be, like, a surviving diva from the Sumeragi program. I dig those heels. Those are sick. All right, let's give this a try. Oh, my God. Oh, that's right. And as we learned with the drones, her hair temporarily disables our special abilities. You know, just like Copen and Asimov did. Oh, jeez! The hell was that? Okay, so she's, I would actually say, way more mobile than Tianjin was. She's actually considerably more physical, too. I keep getting clipped by her. Not like much of it's doing any damage thanks to Pervasion, but still. Oh no, you don't. The hardest part of fighting bosses as Copen is actually being able to charge into them. Since his dashes, I think, unless they're performed from the ground, tend to automatically have a bit of verticality to them. Oh, hell. Oh, what the hell is this? Instant kill? No, just damn near. Again? Already? Oh, no, you don't. Got her. It was a terrible, terrible performance, but I got her. MC says, Rapunzel, calm down. She was a better fight than Tianjin, but yeah, okay, I think I'm getting the gist of this. Copen is exactly like the non-X characters in Mega Man X games. Presumably a much higher skill ceiling, but also a much higher skill floor, and boss fights, in particular with him, are gonna be kinda difficult for me, if only because his entire playstyle is based around charging straight into enemies to lock onto them for a very brief time. Whereas, if we'd been playing, say, as Gunvolt, we'd just be able to, like, clip her from a distance and stay locked on until either we lost our charge or she had lost almost a third of her health. But we made it. We got her. Let's see what new weapon we got. Close range, fire downward to boost your jumps. Okay. So you can, like, lash out with, I presume, those drills she was using? We'll go talk to Middle, just so we can get an increased chance of popping the anthem. I'm pretty sure I never said anything of the sort, but I can't tell her that or she'll be sad. So my thought overall is, especially with like the hover capability, stages are going to be much easier as Copen, but bosses would be exponentially easier as Gunvolt. Can we synthesize something? I'm guessing not. Yeah. Yeah. We're close to a couple of things. The bullet capacity, that'd be great. Let's head up into the Isle of Dreams next. Oh, the Isle of Dreams is a junkyard. It's like a sewage treatment plant. Great. Okay. Oh, this is gonna be like, the junkyard stages from the X games, I'd imagine, and the Zero games as well, which are typically great fun. Hopefully we'll see some unique enemies here. And maybe like a garbage adept? Puppeteer, an abomination controlled by a monster. The cadaver of metal is an affront to mankind. It shall fall before the power of science. So I'm guessing in Gunvolt's campaign, all of these stages have different names, and more standard intro text instead of weird xenophobic screed. So I'm thinking, to make boss fights easier too, we might want to try out some of our boss weapons. Like Tianjin's sword seemed pretty powerful. Oh, so yeah, there's an actual puppeteer Septima in charge here. So, I will say, one thing I really like is, compared to the first game, not only do the Septima have more to do in their stage, or the adepts have more to do in their stages and have a greater physical presence and kind of character development within their stages, but their abilities also seem just a bit more interesting and non-standard. Or maybe it just appears that way because of, again, additional characterization. Right. You. How do we break you? Maybe if we use something like that? No? We might need, like, a purple. Yeah. Yeah. Actually, why don't we just keep this weapon, because it seems to kinda kick ass. Yeah. Yeah, that's pretty cool. And it recharges pretty quickly, too. You see that little gauge under our health bar? Ah. This looks like the way forward, so... well, maybe. Yeah, it does. Let's go back out to the trash floor. Oh, we can just safely, more or less, walk around on the trash. Great. Yeah, I think this is it. I think Copen's just gonna take me a good bit of time to learn, but with all these cool little special weapons and abilities, I think he can be a pretty kick-ass character. Oh, we were able to get around those barricades and pick up a medal. Nice. Very nice. Yo, and MC, have you bought or looked at any of the other, like, Soulsborne titles, or just Dark Souls so far? I would absolutely love to be able to introduce you to Dark Souls 2, like, on stream, as we did the first game, because, oh man, that's a fun one to see people's first reactions to. If you're like anybody else, you're either gonna love it or hate it. I only have the first game? Alright, well, there's plenty to mess around with there. Plenty we didn't show on stream as well. Lots of cool little stuff that you can get by advancing Covenants far enough, including new magic, new weapons. I don't know that any of them have armor sets. MC says I'll check the rest as I go along. Yeah, Dark Souls 1 has enough meat to keep you really invested for a while, though. I would advise waiting just... I mean, it'll be a couple days, probably, until I dig into Dark Souls 2 on stream to see if it's something you're going to like, because, just to be fair, I know I make fun of the people who criticize the game extensively. There are certain aspects about it that some people legitimately won't find quite as enjoyable as the first, or will find vastly superior. And just better to go into that one informed, I'd say. Dark Souls 3 is basically just an improved Dark Souls 1. Well, I say that almost dismissively. It's a really, really great game, and probably has the most polish out of all three of them. But it's kind of similar in a lot of ways, especially in terms of the lore and world. Okay, there we go. MC says not planning on leaving Dark Souls for a while. Yeah, there's a lot to learn. A lot to learn. A lot that I still haven't learned. Although, I am very proud of myself, because for my first time with Dark Souls in ages, especially since it was probably since it was the first game in the series I played, MC says that I prefer to follow my favorite tour guide for a while. Oh, thanks so much, man. I appreciate it. I could do, like, a magic build in Dark Souls 1 at some point for, like, another stream series, because I don't know if you played around with it any in your experimentation yet, but apparently magic builds in the first game are ridiculously strong. Well, I mean, we saw what pyromancy could do at a high level, right? Oh, and, without getting too much into, like, outright spoiler territory, I was doing a little reading up on the lore of, like, the entire series last night, because, well, I was bored. And it turns out, I did not know this, because I've not actually completed the very, very last piece of Dark Souls trilogy content to be released. The final DLC for Dark Souls 3. But apparently we are going to get strong evidence as like the final act of the series, that all of the stuff that, like, was tied to Gwen's atrocities in the first game, right? The undead curse, hollowing, the complete explosion of the abyss and the damages it brought along with it, were a direct result of Lord Gwyn's actions. He was responsible for all of it. And just kind of never wanted to admit that to anyone. Like, apparently we get some evidence that, yeah, I think we made the right call. The darkness isn't any worse. Yeah, no, it's... And, let's actually scrap the bit about him being, like, a devoted and caring father, because, again, I forgot about some stuff from later in the series, and, not really. Not really at all. He was a very solid administrator, we'll put it that way. He was like a decent king, and that was it. He was a decent king and like a D-list Santa cosplayer, if his boss fight is any indication. Okay, is this going to be our, like, ambush room? Yep. So, we're not really seeing new enemies here. It's, no, all of my score, damn you! It's all of the Sumeragi bots from the first game, but with, new visual design to reflect kind of their dereliction, which is cool. I mean, if you're gonna reuse assets from the first game, might as well change them up just a little bit, right? And it fits the stage. So I'm actually going to change the way the kudos system works for us moving forward. Well, maybe. Moving forward. Oh, it's the puppeteer, and he's like a street urchin from Victorian London? So, I'm assuming he's not really going to fight us directly? So his powers emerging like a giant cloud. Oh, it's this guy! Gallet Crone. Is he Gallet? I don't know. I do know we have a giant sword that has that thing's name on it. Yeah, see, he himself is extremely weak. Like, low HP, low everything. But the crone is ridiculously strong. Okay, so the downside to the sword is it's... I guess it could be charitably described as medium range? And the crone actually does not go down for long. I think it might actually be a better idea to just burn him down, yeah, like that. Oh, shit. So we're going all in on the food metaphor, right? Okay. Oh, Jesus! I guess, like, his little headgear could even look a bit like a chef's toque if you look at it. Like, with your head tilted and... oh no. The hell was that? So that was a very messy fight. I don't think I dodged a single attack the entire time, but we got him. That was interesting. Huh? Oh, he's not done, is he? Uh-oh. Oh, hell, that wasn't the fight. That's interesting. So, giant junk robot now, I'm guessing? Like, I mean, that would be the natural evolution, right? So, yeah, again, I didn't make the best call from the jump. What we should have done is just probably stick with our standard electro field, if only because the sword, and its short range, not a good idea when the boss is hiding behind a stronger enemy. And just burn him down with that. Because he didn't seem to have too much health. That ult was kind of crazy, though. Yep. Oh. Shoot, what is that thing? Oh, he's just going to fight us in the Crone again? Please tell me he's going to, like, start piloting the giant ruined mech in the background. Yes! Yes! Oh, sick. The giant tort? Or tart? This is an interesting fella. Oh, we can destroy, like, Jesus. These little jewels on his shoulders to, I guess, take out certain offensive capabilities. I really like, I think it's Lola, Copen's assistant. I do like that, based off of what I've been reading of this dialogue, absolutely nobody takes Copen seriously, even, like, his friends and family. So at least he's kind of meant to be, like, totally ridiculous. So is it just me, or does this phase, at least so far, look comparatively easy? Like, it looks like the first phase was actually much harder than this, right? I mean, I'm taking enough hits to just tank my score, but I mean, he's not hurting us. You notice that seems to be a general rule in action games, like, by default? The bigger the boss is, actually, the easier they are to deal with. Oh, that technically hit us somehow. Jeez. Come on, man. Just go down. Your food sucks. MC says heavy is slow, so it makes sense. Well, that, and unlike the first phase, the Grand Torta was almost constantly exposed, like vulnerable, you know what I mean? But the chef himself was almost constantly hidden behind the crone in the first phase. And so we had to, especially since Copen can't charge downward from midair, I don't think he can anyway. He can't do a diving dash. It was really difficult to actually tag the boss for more powerful attacks. So yeah, that was pretty cool. I think that's the first time outside of Nova we've ever had to fight an adept in 2 different forms. So yeah, really cool. I dig it, and I'm interested to see what kind of ability we're going to get from him. Hey, an A rank. That's alright. I don't know that we deserve it, but I'm happy to see it. Vantage Raid. So maybe a longer range attack? I don't think we have a really good long range attack yet. Inside the garden, Eden's remote fortress. The Oracle Zonda offers up prayers at the altar. Yeah, so we're down to her last 4 Guardians, but I get the sense there's gonna be 8 main stages, so maybe there's like a rogue Sumeragi adept still like carrying out contracts for the company or something like that. The 7 are Eden's most powerful warriors. Losing one strikes fear in the rank and file. So I will say decisively, these guys are working towards an abominable end, but they're nowhere near as loathsome as the Sumeragi Corporation is and was in the first game. They at least have like a goal born of grievance and seem to care about each other. And based on what we've seen, everybody involved with Sumeragi hated everyone else in the organization. And with that, a hush falls over the garden. Also, we've gone from fighting what is essentially a corporate superpower to a religious organization. Which, again, this game's story seems to be way more present and developed than the first one. But I'm interested to see where all this goes. Again, we can't quite construct anything, and with all those credits, like, look, upwards of 13,000 credits, it would be really nice if you could buy crafting materials. I think that would be a great way to help players out, especially if they only need, like, 1 more component for a basic item. Like, yeah. Now let's go to our loadout, see what our new weapon is. Striking enemies may freeze them. Oh, are these those little rings that the chef and his robot were tossing back and forth in the first phase of the fight? Well, that's kind of interesting. Let's talk with Middle once more. Oh, that's right. One of the AI idols probably saved her. AI idols?
夢は夢だ。あまり気にしない方がいいと思うぞ。
An angel. That must be our mother's influence. Yeah, no, there's been enough language scattered throughout the games to indicate that Copen comes from a very religious background. An ambiguously defined religious background, but one nonetheless. Oh man, taking it back to Mega Man X1 with this next one. A good old-fashioned highway stage. Now, the kudos, this is a... Well, I'm curious. There's this part of me that wants to say, oh, let's go into friggin' gutless mode and just take the reduced score multiplier so we can keep building our score up. But even with this stipulation that forces us to lose our collected score if we take more than 3 hits between checkpoints, we've been getting pretty good grades on the whole, so like maybe just stick with it until I start absolutely tanking it later on. Let's see what's going on here. I really do dig the bosses though, they seem way more original than the first games, and that game had good bosses. Oh, are we gonna be fighting like a Flash adept? Oh, that'd be awesome. We need some of those Crip alloys to create like an extra bullet, I think? Prism. On a collapsed highway, a runaway plays the fool. Artless, irreverent, and irresponsible, the world yearns for his end. Yeah, so Copen's totally unhinged. But, oh god. So, is this the stage boss's influence, all these crystals, or is this Zonda's? Because these look like their powers to me. Oh, check it out! The crystals, like, refract our lasers. Awesome. Let's check out our new weapon really quickly. So we, say we tag something real quick. And yeah, no, it is a long-range, like, homing projectile that also binds enemies in place. Nice. So we've got to extinguish these little blazes throughout. Oh, this is a cool stage. I really like the background as well. Good job to NT Creates. This is pretty awesome. Now I do wish we'd see some more mini-bosses. Those are always a favorite component of these types of games to me. Were those the power-draining bullets that Copen and Asimov used in the first game? If so, I really need to watch myself. Hey, it's our old buddy Destructible Crates. From Viper's stage, right? Oh. Oh, just a medal down here, I see. So I guess there are tons of, like, low-level adepts who are working for Zonda, like, and those are the Eden Foot Soldiers, because I could be wrong, I could be reading this all wrong. But, oh no, he can do, like, a diving dash. It's just, you have to press straight down on the control stick for him to move diagonally downward. Okay. Oh, shit. Okay, I think we are slowly but surely getting the hang of how to play Copen. Oh, got some slowdown there. I was gonna see if we could, like, destroy those with, one of those reload dives. just by, like, kind of clipping into them. But no, no such luck. Oh! Nice try. Oh, we lost all our score. You friggin' kidding me? That thing technically hit us 3 times. Damn! Really? Well, we were doing great until then. Now watch, there's gonna be a checkpoint, like, 3 steps away that's going to... Jeez, those things. Come on. Oh, they can, like, phase in. Right. What on earth is... Is that what you do? Got him. Oh, the soundtrack for this stage is great. Slow but steady. Some kind of goodies over here, right? Or not. Wait, do we have another weapon that could maybe do this job a bit better? Yeah, maybe. Almost. There we go. And that gives us the gift of something. Oh, we still need a way around the, around those iron crates, right? Yeah, because we can't destroy those crystals, just like the, smaller little crystal platforms. Okay. Is there some kind of special ability we'll need? I'm guessing there's a few of those in this one. Yep. Probably so. Well, let's just know it's there. We can come back for it later. Oh, it's one of those guys again. Gotta be really careful around them now. I've learned if I value my score at all, which I kinda do, actually. Because I think the better grade we get, the more chances to draw upgrade materials, or crafting materials we receive. Damn it! Well, never mind that, because I lost all of our score again. Oh, no, you don't. Where is it? It was somewhere around here, wasn't it? And it hit us twice, because of course it did. So I'm guessing if we didn't have Prevasion active, those guns that the yellow troopers use would just absolutely devastate us. Come on. You can break that box. There we go. At least we're getting plenty of... Damn it! Plenty of medals that'll give us additional chances to draw. These guys are the worst! Yep, so there we've got a score of 10 after losing hundreds of points. Oh, the spider again. Oh. Yikes, yikes, yikes. And we lost all our score again, good. Oh, crap, I need to reload. We are not doing super great. Yeah, going for like high scores in this game would be brutal, wouldn't it? It's kind of a shame that they're just reusing mini-bosses from the first game. I was hoping for something a little bit more than that, but I mean, the main bosses have been great. Are we already at the boss? Oh no, no. It's our mission control. We going to have a battle with him from the back of the motorcycle? Huh. Okay, so we can't dash, but we can do everything else? So she is just going to wreck the joint while we take out these little drones? Boss fight time? Oh, check this one out. Oh no. It's like a J-pop rapper. And there goes our score. So he's attacking mainly with disco crystals? I mean, I can get behind that. And by disco crystals, of course, I mean cocaine. Well, this is an interesting, like, opening stage to a fight. I kind of like this one, honestly. So yeah, the adepts are way more involved in their stages. That's a marked improvement. All right, let's take down the Disco Crystal King. Someone's here? But why? I'm glad to see at least one of these people is really having fun with this.
Gauri in the house.
Okay, some of this is so cheesy, I love it.
BPM Architect Z.
He said absolutely none of that, but okay. And Copen's at a loss for words. Understandably. Was that was an attack, I guess, but again, he's hitting me left, right, and center, but our shield is blocking most of it somehow? I really have no idea what this one's trying to do. Okay, what's your ult? Of course it is. Yeah, our score's just gonna be shit, but what's it matter? What the... So my question is, like, obviously many of these aren't dealing any real damage to us, but how in the hell are we supposed to dodge half of this? Did he just say, up yours? Okay. When in doubt, just fly up. Oh, we killed him with our ground pound. Okay. So that was Gari. Kind of just needing a moment to take all that in. Weirdest adept so far, easily the weirdest fight so far. But not hard or anything. In fact, I'd go so far as to say he's probably the easiest boss we've fought so far, if only because our shield protected us from most of his projectiles. Yet another A rank, though, so okay. Still none of those polymers we need. Oh, we got the Prism Break weapon, which might send out, like, those little crystal shards everywhere. Okay, so we've got, like, the mid-game stage, just like in the first game. Oh, God. So I'm curious to see who the mid-game boss is going to be then. It's not going to be one of the 3 remaining Guardians, so either some kind of, like, stolen technology, like a giant robot or something probably, or maybe Zonda in one of their alternative forms. Forfeit. To break sibling bonds is to invoke the wrath of the wolf, proving that blood truly runs thicker than water. Curious to see how this goes how this is as mid-game stages go. Sinner's Row from the first game was, like, really good. So I'm curious to see how this one stacks up. What do you do? Oh, it just shoots a prism crystal, okay. And it's purple, so I approve. Oh, what on earth are these? One of them's a giant spool and the other one's a bat? Wait, this is the internet guy? Oh, I was honestly hoping he'd look a bit cooler, honestly. The bat's pretty solid, though. The garden. Oh my god. He's an internet troll, okay. So what on earth is your power? And do you like disco?
貴様のような雑魚に構っている暇はない。とっととそこをどけ。
Okay, we need a better weapon than this. Let's... Oh! Like, control over blood or iron? Yeah, we're losing score, but what's it matter? So, she's actually got a lot of health. Oh, Jesus! She's got less health without her armor, it would appear. Yeah, way less health. Oh! Appropriate name. Oh no. What? Oh, is this just the whole fight now? Okay, then I better kill you quickly. Oh my god. Oh, recharge, recharge. I don't care about the damage, we can take her. Now, I don't know if we actually killed her, or if she's going to reappear as a stage boss. I mean, I'm sure she'll be in the boss rush. But, if that was one of the Guardians or not. So what are we thinking about this game's bosses so far? I'd say in terms of design and variety, they're a marked improvement over the first games, which were already, like, a lot of fun. Especially for, like, you know, a game that was made on the original scale, like a little downloadable title. That's the second time Middle has slipped away. Oh, nice. Nice, nice. MC says they look exhilarating. Yeah, and obviously, like, our dodge ability is helping out a lot, but actually going back and really trying to learn these suckers later on, like in subsequent playthroughs, like to grind materials and things like that, also seems like it would be a lot of fun. The thing is, the player characters are so powerful in terms of just their damage output. I feel like I don't really have time to learn all of a boss's moves during my first fight with them. I could just burn them down. But, like, they're all clearly very learnable. Oh, Hover has become more efficient, as his Pervasion. Awesome. MC says they test your skills in perception. Yeah, definitely. Perception especially. Like, a lot of these attacks have fair but very, very, like, muted telegraphs. Tashkent. That's in Central Asia, right? I'd say so far my favorite boss might be the chef, if only because you get to fight him in two very, very distinct phases that require different things of the player. And the weakest one might be the goddess, actually. She felt the most like an Azure Striker Gunvolt 1 boss, if that makes any sense. Alright, so we've got two new stage, or no, one new stage. Are we already at the end game? Huh. That's interesting. But okay. What new weapon did we get? We've got 3 more weapons. Yeah, oh no, we can like choose. Okay, we've got 2 more weapons then. A projectile attack that steals HP. That sounds kind of interesting. Okay, let's take on the garden then. Wait, no, hold on. Can we synth anything? Probably not, but... Oh no, we can. The weapon compressor reduces the weapon gauge cost for EX weapons. Reduces shot damage, increases shot damage but reduces HP to 100 and no prevasion. No, thank you. Or any of the Sumeragi things. Audio recordings. Let's go ahead and shell out for one of them. Because I'm curious to see what this actually is. Is it literally just like something we can use to overwrite stage music? Oh, I guess so. But okay, that's cool, I guess. So we've got the Internet Kid and one more Guardian, right? Yeah, the Internet Kid, there's another Guardian. I'm sure we're gonna have to fight Gunvolt again. And then, Zonda theirself. Eden. The enemy citadel, the garden, rises about Tashkent. A false paradise, or the nexus for the next step in human evolution? Sounds like with the change in management, it'd definitely be the latter. Oh yeah, this is Zonda style, alright. Where... There we go. Oh, hey, it's our good buddy the Shutter again. Well, we can bullet death, but we can also just destroy them for points and power-ups. So, you know. Oh, damn, there goes my score again. But there's a medal, so honestly, that's probably a fair trade. Level up, nice. I don't think Copen gets quite as much from leveling up as Gunvolt does. You know, Gunvolt unlocks new skills and things like that. Yeah, it seems like Zonda's troops are true believers, for what it's worth. And after seeing the... Damn it, really? After seeing the life that Sumeragi wanted to give these people, it's understandable why they'd believe in the Oracle instead. We're playing like ass so far. That got him. Oh, just 2 of these to finish us off, really? So I'm curious to know, do we think Gunvolt goes through the same stages, or would he have, like, even an entirely different campaign? Like, because... obviously Zonda is the big bad here, but... it did seem like he was focused more on dismantling what remained of Sumeragi. Oh, really? Nice.
この要塞をデザインしたやつの悪意が見えるようだな。
Come on, there you go. Oh, really? Right into the spikes? Oh, man. I don't really like how he backflips off of anything he strikes with his dash. That's... It's a minor complaint, but that's not super fantastic, you know? So this seems to be a bit better than, like, the bridge stage from the first game. You remember the one with, like, the 800 mantises? Like, this feels like a really proper endgame stage. Gonna have to use our special ability probably to help. Oh, damn. Whittle it down. In fact, might be better just to... I really like this ring move, actually. Come on. There we go. Hey, actually got a fair bit of score there. Not a ton, but enough to help. So I thought they said the fortress was mobile, too. So it might just be stationed in Tashkent? So, Copen's still horrible, that's... Good to see we've reached the end game and have not learned a single thing, but alright. Well, sorry, no, we've learned a lot of really cool moves that will assist him in his kind of misguided crusade. So I think we're probably going to end up going down and around, right? Like so? Yeah. Yeah. That's the way. Good. The little, like, flying sentry robots with the shields don't seem too dangerous. Though that's pretty good placement for them, I'd say. Oh, especially like that, man. Halfway there. Oh, Tianjin's back again. Are we starting the boss rush already? Oh, or Gunvolt? So all of the 7 must still be alive. I don't think they have anybody who can resurrect them in quite the same way that, was it Sophia did for the adepts in the first game? Unless Zonda can do it somehow. Oh, it's been a while since we saw one of those. The, like, little saw blade machines. Nice. That hover's really coming in handy here. It's not quite as versatile as Gunvolt's, but really helps in a pinch, like, you know, all of the... Oh no, I didn't mean to do that! I did not mean to do that. I accidentally hit the triangle button, which also activates his special skill. Okay. It's like just a screen clearer that also automatically collects all of our score, I think. Oh, no! No! Damn! I didn't have any bullets, are you kidding me? Oh, that's the worst. That is the worst. Well, we were doing great up till then. Oh yeah, his special skill probably drains all of his bullets, I'm thinking. At least I think they do let you start from that checkpoint, that last checkpoint, with your score and everything else intact. That's nice. I really like Copen's character design. Again, not his character necessarily, but he looks very, very cool. And I'd say way more distinctive than Gunvolt, yeah? Like, I mean, yes, he looks disturbingly like, I think his name was, something like Chad Michaud or something like that. Proto Man's operator in the Mega Man Net Battle series. Really great little, like, action RPGs on handhelds, by the way. Don't get their just due these days, but man, those are good games. There we go. Don't need that health that badly since we are full. Yes, more score. Give it to me. Huh. Oh no, you don't. Okay, so it's more of these Mechanicus things? I like the dynamic between these two way more than that between Gunvolt and Jewel, which again is just kind of creepy. The interactions between Copen and Lola are actually kind of endearing in like a really campy, like Saturday morning cartoon way. Alright, so are we gonna square off with Gunvolt one more time? With him actually at full power? No, it's... aside from Internet Boy, the only other Guardian left?
G7 のメンバーか。いかにも俺は科学者だが、それがどうした？いやー、なんだ。別にそれがどうだってわけじゃねえが。そうだとすれば、これからお前。He's
wielding a dagger, and judging from his stance, I'd expect him to be very, very fast.
科学の発展ってのはいつも海を汚し。
Oh no! Not at all. He's a water type adept. Yo, anime Aquaman was badass. Oh. Probably shouldn't be firing at him while he's using his harp. If only because it looks like... Oh, no, 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 no. I'm stuck. Looks like you have to really be able to pinpoint where each of those three, little orbs that shoot out the lasers appear from. Aqua Avatar. Oh! Well, he's almost down. Again, I don't think I'm doing super well at dodging his attacks, but he's not the strongest in the world, we'll say that much. Okay, so we're down to Zonda's last Guardian, and it's the, like, teenage internet troll. Kind of like how in the first game, Marok was kind of, Nova's right hand throughout the endgame, right? I think he was the first one to go down again, but, he was like the most prominent of the Sumeragi Septima. Or adepts. I keep wanting to call the power users themselves Septima, because that just sounds, you know, like a cooler name, but nope. Okay, we get 8 pulls. And the Hydro Zapper. Like maybe a rapid-fire lock-on weapon. Okay, guys, real quick, give me about 5 minutes to go grab a new drink and a quick snack. And we'll be back probably to finish at least the main campaign for Copen in Azure Striker Gunvolt 2 before the end of the stream. So don't go anywhere. We shall be right back. Alright folks, we are back. Hopefully to clear out Copen's campaign, or again, the bulk of it, in the next few minutes after probably an intense boss rush. Because I know for a fact, I don't know how to access them, but there are a number of DLC stages included for Gunvolt 2 that, in addition to some other things, I think there's quite a bit of it actually, bring back a couple bosses from the first game. I don't know with new abilities or what have you, but that is a thing. I just don't know how to access those yet. So we'll hopefully clear out Copen's main campaign today, probably start on Dark Souls 2 tomorrow, and that might be a bit of a long stream, because I want to at the very least make it past the first couple bosses in the game, and it takes much longer to get to the first boss in Dark Souls 2 than it did Dark Souls 1. Dark Souls 1, it's what, maybe really 5 minutes before you're properly introduced to your first boss. Dark Souls 2, you're looking at like an investment of a couple hours. And then they just come fast and furious for the rest of the game. But okay, we are now on... Hold on. Can we craft anything new? Just that weapon compressor, which is not something I'm particularly interested in. Okay. Well, wait, hold on. What's our new loadout? Oh, we can charge the prism. That's helpful. High pressure water lasers. That sounds pretty cool. Let's give that one a try. I continued making my way deeper into the garden. Stay strong, Middle. I'll get you out of here no matter what. Can we still, like, quote-unquote, talk to her? Yeah. Quiet as the grave in here. Better get going. That'll boost our chance of getting the anthem. Inferno. Paradise has become Abaddon. As the king of puppets surrenders to the will of the land, great steel beasts bear fangs at a young hero. So the chef is gonna be back, huh? It's either that or the internet, kid. Aha! It's a bit of a trap, isn't it? Oh. So we're like under the garden right now. Doing good so far. Lots of checkpoints, which has me a little suspicious. No! No! I thought I dashed in time. That was... oh, man. This is definitely reminiscent of Mega Man Zero, then, because I remember in that series, it's always the platforming that gets you in the final stages, never the combat. Oh, damn! So that is something I actually never realized. You cannot use the bullet dash if you're not already airborne. I don't think. Or at least the variant that hovers you. MC says, I'm back from watching anime. Well, welcome back. We are making our way through the garden, slowly but surely. And we learned you can't really properly use a bullet dash unless you're in midair, I don't think. Learned that the hard way, of course. There we go. We're down to just one Guardian. And they're not one I'm particularly worried about. I'm sure their fight's gonna be cool, but... Maybe instead of like a spool, that thing on Internet Kid's head is supposed to be like an Ethernet cable, if we're being really generous. Oh good. Oh good. Okay. That one's pretty easy. Are we actually at the end of this abyssal nightmare? Oh, almost. And he says they really ramped up the platforming here. Yeah, this is kind of a staple of, like... Well, again, I keep calling back to it because clearly they retained a lot of their design philosophy from those games. The Mega Man Zero games, typically there would always be some really tricky platforming in the final stages. Like Neo Arcadia from... Well, was Neo Arcadia the final setting of both? There we go. Mega Man 0, 1, and 2? I think so. If so, tough. Is there gonna be a hexafile up ahead? Or... another ambush round? Yep. Looks like we've got to plow through what's left of Zonda's men. And robots. There aren't a ton of them. Oh boy, there's the big guys. As he says, reminds me of Ghost 1.0. Never seen that, I don't believe. And again, sorry if you can hear the neighbor's dog barking. That's just a thing every few days around here. Feel so sorry for, like, animals being cooped up for protracted periods of time during all this, you know what I mean? MCS, ever heard of Unepic? I don't think so, actually. It doesn't sound familiar, at any rate. Oh, we've got another Eden ambush. Ooh, check out those lasers. Yeah, Aquaman's ability just might be the truth. Get him, get him, get him. Ho! What do you guys do again? Well, it doesn't matter. MC says, well, Ghost 1.0 is a game made by the same devs as Unepic. They're Metroidvania-style games. Oh, interesting. I tend to quite like games like that, so... I'll have to check them out at some point. Oh, that's right. Copen wouldn't have as much knowledge of who Zonda is, as Gunvolt, I don't think, despite, you know, killing them in the first game. Ghost 1.0 introduced rooms with security levels. I see. Oh, they took my goddamn score again. At least these folks are fighting for something they really believe in. Yeah, I'm really tempted to view Eden as way more sympathetic than Sumeragi. If they weren't all like adept supremacist jackasses, like, or their commanders anyway, they'd be genuinely like anti-villains. MC says on Epic's base plot is that the character is a D&D player that goes to the bathroom during a session, everything turns black, and then they wake up in a dungeon. Oh, like inside the game. That's nice. Yeah, I'll have to check that out. It's on Steam, I presume. Hey, Spanners, good to see you, man. We are at the tail end of Gunvolt 2. I want to say? It doesn't seem like there'll be much more after this. MC says there's a lot of gamer jokes, and it is on Steam. Awesome. Oh, there we go. Another medal. Good. Anything over here? Or I presume the only one left before our boss rush is the internet kid. And I mean, there's all sorts of green highlights all over the place. This sounds like him. Spinner says, I feel like the text boxes take up too much space whenever they pop up. Agreed. These were originally made for, I want to say, the 3DS. And that would explain their size. But yes, they are a bit intrusive. You can toggle them, though. You can, like, toggle the in-game conversations on or off. And, yep. We're in cyberspace. Circa 1990. That's gotta be an Ethernet cable, right? It can't just be a spool. He's kind of insufferable, and that's his entire character. No, you friggin' kidding me? This game. Spinner says, damn, how are you gonna play the game on a tiny 3DS screen if it's all covered up by text? Well, I mean, the text... You'd actually be able to read the text without having to avert your eyes from the action on a 3DS screen, so it feels like it'd be a little bit less intrusive, overall. But yeah, no, I agree. It's not the best design. It'd be better, in fact, if it was on 3DS, if all of this was on the bottom screen, which in fact it may have been, I don't know. But, okay, looks like we're finally fighting Tessio, the child with the power of internet. Oh! Jesus Christ. So he doesn't look insanely powerful. I'm guessing he has multiple phases. Oh, we want to get the hell out of Dodge, right? Wait, no, I see them. I see them. Platforms. Save us. Oh, God. How the hell are you supposed to dodge that? Oh, that is an attack we're gonna have to learn. Hopefully he won't use it again. Spanner says, did his grandfather expose him to experimental internet gas? I honestly have no idea. I think these people are supposed to be born with their powers, but this one... Yeah, this one's weird. You missed, a disco-dancing rapper who could control, prism crystals, Aquaman, Rapunzel as a goddess, and, oh yeah, there was a chef who could control garbage. These guys have really weird, very, very fun powers. I quite like them. This can't be it. He went down way too easily. Yeah, he's got to have a second phase, right? Spinner says, I was born in the internet. The greatest power of all. Transmissibility. Oh no, he is down for the count. Huh. MC says, kind of like that movie where the heroes have terrible powers. Yeah, exactly. Except these guys are making the most of their terrible powers. I love it. And again, they're not just like, with the exception of Tianjin, elemental, like, stereotypical, like, one-note bosses, right? Even in the first game, I think aside from Viper, there wasn't an abundance of that. They're all kind of unique and fun. Spanner says you merely adopted it. Oh, so true. So true. Oh, yep, there's more. Because Tessio apparently set something in motion. Boss rush? Or oh no, it's this thing again. Except now it's got a shield. We may have to break down with our special abilities, a la Nova. Or no, we have to break it down like a hexafile. Okay. Oh! Holy Lord, okay, that hurt a lot. Yikes. That's a very dangerous attack. So does it have any kind of special... Oh my god, it does. Arrow Runner. Okay. So the body will damage us even when it's stock still, alright? So that sure was a thing. Oh, missiles. Good. Is that all they do, though? Because I can live with that. Oh, no, not again. It's almost dead, y'all. It's almost dead. There we go. MC says the pointy bit is down, and Spanner says anime villain number 16. 162,826. I mean, you're not wrong. At least, unlike the mantises, which were just made more powerful, I think, more powerful and resilient, this one had a largely distinct moveset from the one at the beginning of the game. But why do they react to middle? It's like when Lola first took human form. To be fair, it's not human as much as it is anime, AI, internet idol, but whatever. A rank, there we go. Pretty good haul, and we got the broad circuit weapon from Internet Boy, Tessio. Oh, and so now is it just like a boss rush to Zonda? Well, alright then. Reduces the weapon gauge cost. You know what? That's probably worth it, especially considering how extensively I'm using special weapons now. So we'll go ahead and throw that in our loadout. And our new weapon, what is that? Wide area, damage increased if focused. Spanner says my mom keeps poorly describing Pokemon at me, and I just have to guess until I get the name. Oh, that's relatable, not just with parents, but with people in general, and Pokemon. I love describing Pokemon from really crappy fan games or hacks to people, and just watching their bemused reactions. Like, I think Pokemon Uranium has one a Pokemon that is literally the Titanic as it strikes the iceberg. Or an iceberg. Both are aspects of a single Pokemon. The Titanic and the iceberg. It's amazing. Okay, so let's take the fight to Zonda. Finally. There's gotta be a boss rush, right? I mean, come on. And now there either isn't something analogous to the jewels in this game, or they're insanely well hidden, because we've not seen a single one. Savior. A lone figure offers prayers for the world. Zonda, who would bring peace, shines light upon the oppressed. Again, sympathetic villain, really. Spinner says she's only been playing Pokemon Go for 4 years and still can't name Pidgey. Well, to be fair, it is one of the most forgettable Pokemon. Oh. The power of the internet. Let's go back to our old standby for now, though. Spanner says also, yeah, I know Pokemon Clover has like 2 Pokemon based on ejaculate. Are you serious? I was talking about like fish that are also Sai or Katanas or... No, we know how that works. Oh, do we have to step into their mirror field? Yep, boss rush time. And we're starting off again. MC says, internet, the power of lust and cats. Well, Zonda is the lust boss from the first game. And we're starting out against probably the toughest boss out of the base. Spanner says, yeah, Pokemon Clover is based on 4chan humor, so of course there is... Oh god, not 4chan. The internet's very own hive of scum and villainy. So this is the guy with the one-hit kill ult. Yay. Oh, so this is Zonda's big brother. Are they all a family then? Like we've just been offing this children's siblings? Oh. Here he comes. Good to see that Copen is still an asshole, even in the endgame. Like, he has not learned a single thing. Oh god, here it comes. Nope, I'm dead. This is a one-hit kill. Or no, it just deals a ton of damage. Okay. Maybe we're tougher now? I mean, I'm not doing this fight well because I'm not very good at this fight in particular, but... Spanner says, oh yeah, today I learned Frankenstein's monster is called Adam. Oh, interesting. I'm sure I read that somewhere and just haven't recalled. Oh, we do get health between fights, that's nice. Family or a cult? Cults say sister and brother too, and personally a cult makes me feel less guilty. They are a religious organization, but Tianjin did say they were raised together. And, I don't think Zonda was raised in a cult. They founded a cult later in life. specifically to help this class of, like, metahumans who were being oppressed. Yep. Oh, I shouldn't have busted that yet, but okay, they've all got healing items behind them, I'd imagine. Let's start from the bottom and work our way up. Oh, it's the goddess again. Well, now that we know we can dive dash downward, you won't be quite so tough. Spinner says race together because of cult eugenics. It makes sense. Well, I don't know. It sounds like only those two were raised together. The rest were actually introduced into... or were introduced to Zonda through their cult. Also, lest we forget, Zonda is a child. Like, we're going on this mission to kill a little kid. Presumably. Oh, here it comes. Now, her ult isn't so bad. Yep, there we go. Well, that went much more smoothly than the Tengen refight. Don't even need to bust that quite yet. So... Chef next, or the disco dancer? Yep, it's the chef. Oh, and it's this form of the chef. I was hoping it'd be the giant robot, because that was... well, because it was easier. If I'm being perfectly honest. But, with his special weapon, which is easily my favorite of the whole lot, we should be able to burn him down pretty quickly. Spinner says, you don't have to feel bad about killing kids. I don't feel shame every time I eat a newly sprouted nipper in Yoshi's Island. Well, I would argue it's because if Yoshi's New Island taught us everything, it's that everything in those games deserves to die, but... oh. Ooh, Lord, kids. Never forget the Yoshi's New Island soundtrack was a thing that Nintendo let happen. Oh, this boss is such a pain. Ha! I get better use out of your weapon than you do. Oh, jeez. It's that attack again. Ultimate attack time? Yep. It's this one. I can still target you though, can't I? Yep. So I may suck at this fight, but thanks to your own boss weapon, I can target you at virtually all times. MC says, do you know what amuse-bouche means? Yep, it literally means, like, to entertain or to tease the palate. It refers to a starter, usually a very small 1 or 2 bite little morsel, that serves as, like, an appetizer in specifically haute cuisine meals. It's like an appetizer that knows it's better than you. Oh, it's the disco rapper again. And Spanner says, yeah, I never played that one. Played the original like once and almost beat the DS one before I lost that save. Oh, it's a shame you lost the save. But, as I understand it, well, I know, I've played the original Yoshi's Island. It's fantastic, like, amazing. And I've heard the Yoshi, the DS one is okay. Like, it's pretty good. Doesn't do a lot to innovate, but like it's solid. It comes from that Nintendo age of complete and total lack of innovation, but is like really solid. And MC says, good, don't have to do my French translation. I know that thanks to watching Top Chef, like several seasons of Top Chef, despite not really liking most of the food that comes off of that program. It's a show so pretentious that slices of watermelon are repeatedly referred to as watermelon steaks. Was there something about peeing on us in there? Rhymes so bad I can't focus. Oh, the struggle of being a music reviewer. Why am I reminded of those breakdancer wannabes from Yakuza 0 right about now? Yes, it's time for the Up Yours Poetry Slam, which is, again, what he's actually saying. Ah, shit, couldn't climb fast enough. This guy's a lot of fun. He's obnoxious, of course, but that's by design. Ooh. My bad. Yikes. Oh. He's spamming that ultimate this time, though. He didn't in the original fight. He did use it twice, I think, but not quite like this. Got him. Spinner says, I'll be frank, I'm so used to the DS game sounds, the lack of voice from Yoshi in the original is so jarring to me. Oh, that's totally fair. But like the baby changing stuff in the DS game did add a fair bit, but it's like a DK64 situation. Yeah, you have to use... You have to use, oh! We've actually come to Zonda. You have to run through, like, certain areas with each playable character just to get, like, collectibles that are kind of arbitrarily walled off. I think that was, like, the big criticism a lot of folks have for Donkey Kong 64, which is a game I remember liking as a kid. But I'm really interested to see how Zonda's going to fight. I take it they're going to use their alternate forms.
あなたは見ませんでしたか？ミラーピースがあなたの妹と反応するところ。それはあなたには伝えましょう。私がスメラギでの諜報活動で手に入れた情報を。彼女、ミチルは
Yeah, his little sister's an addict. Do you still want to exterminate them all, Copen? Oh, who am I kidding? Of course you do.
そのセブンスは
It's not like you learn, ever.
生まれたばかりの彼女の体を蝕んでいきました。だからあなたたちの父、上園博士は娘を守るため、彼女が持つ強大なセブンス。
Yeah, she's a muse, and I take it that's why she's rendered mute?
摘出の代償として、
Yeah.
彼女は声を失ってしまったようですが。 サイバーディーバがもともとはミチルのセブンスだと。
Spanners asks, so on a scale of Pet Rock to Slime Beast, how melodramatic is this anime? It definitely trends towards, like, the higher end of the scale. Though I want to attribute some of that to, like, some issues with translation in the first game in particular. It was like a little... It wasn't a bad translation at all. It just felt like some things were translated a bit too literally, but, it's like an action anime, you know? Everything's a little hammy. And if you can go in appreciating that, it's not bad at all.
摘出した因子を極秘裏にシアンという少女に移植し
Oh, so she was like the original pop idol adept.
あなたも知る通りシアンは肉体を失いガンボルトと一つ
I do really like Zonda's voice acting, though. It's very kind of monotone and unsettling.
現に私がスメラギへの潜入時に幾度となく試み失敗したサイバーディーバ
I'd like to remind everybody, too. This is pretty cool. Spanners asks, is this Hatsune Miku? With superpowers, basically, yes, actually. Spanners also says, I hate that I can spell that. Oh, that's good. I do think this is really, really cool. Zonda, the villain here, was a minor character who was killed off by this playable character midway through the first game. They were not a significant villain at all.
ミチルを傍らに置くだけでたやすく実現できたのです故に彼女が鍵エデンが強大な力を得るための尊き犠牲
So, like, even though they're using different language, Zonda and Eden are planning on using Middle's power the same way that Sumeragi drained adepts of their power, but, like, basically to create this super weapon or, like, a massive burst of energy that will allow them to create a utopia for adepts. In other words, instead of just draining them and leaving them for dead or using up all their energy to sustain human civilization the way Sumeragi were trying to do unsustainably, they want to sacrifice one really powerful adept so none of them will ever have to come to harm again. That's, again, it's better than what Sumeragi were doing, but it's still, like, unacceptable.
預けていたミラーピースあなたを倒しここで全て取り戻しましょう
Spanner says it's like one of those Chekhov's guns, except I can't spell or think of a comparable example. Chekhov, C-H-E-K-H-O-F, I think? Chekhov? Yep, we're going to fight Zonda's different forms. Starting off with the one with the crystal erection. Yay.
あの時はお見せできなかった私の愛
Oh, jeez.
語れる愛などありはしない貴様ら化け物は生きているだけで最悪だが
Oh. So just getting a beat on Zonda is going to be a pain in the ass.
でもあなたの愛する妹はあなたの憎むノーあなたの言うガイアそのもの能力者を守る能力者を
I do appreciate that Zonda is calling Copen out on his, like, hypocrisy here. Oh, Jesus! Oh, no, no, no. We've got a heal. Let's use that, please. So, if I know my game design, and I pretend that I do, once we're through with these two... Oh. Zonda's, like, child form, their actual form, is going to serve as the boss of, like, a much more difficult, like, second phase. Oh, come on, recharge, you fool! Holy hell, what the shit is this? Oh, right, I have to press up to reload now, because mirrors. That's a pretty nice little touch. Not again! Can we heal again? Oh shit, we can't. Oh, we're dead. We're dead. Yep, no. Yeah, we're dead. Oh, hey Hannah, so glad you could join us. This is Azure Striker Gunvolt 2, specifically the tail end of said game, developed by the same folks who produced Mega Man Zero and ZX back in the day, if you played those games on handheld when you were younger or are familiar with them. This little girl over on the right is actually our main villain, and she takes on this very troubling series of alternate forms because anime, basically. So their special ability is tied to these crystal mirrors. They can create very powerful illusions, essentially. And we're Mega Man with the serial numbers filed off, essentially. Yeah, I have no idea what's going on in this fight, except we want to break mirrors when they appear, and Zonda can dodge our attacks somewhat arbitrarily, it seems, whenever they change form. I've been playing through this series off and on over like the past week and change, and I still don't have a very good idea of what's going on. Okay. And no, the very troubling implications of the Lust boss from the first game actually being a child are not lost on me in the least. They're also a religious leader, although that's not really touched on that heavily in this game. And I have no idea what this attack is in the least. I'm just totally lost. Okay, why don't we try using our ult next time they make themselves vulnerable? Yeah, right like that. This should take us to whatever second phase Zonda has in store. Oh no. So Zonda actually has a ton of health. But that's it? Kind of says, interesting, never played them, but I was aware of them. I absolutely loved the Zero series when I was younger, and I actually bought the collection for the Switch a couple weeks ago. I don't think I've played it yet, though. No, I haven't at all. But I never played the ZX games, or maybe I played just a little bit of the first one as a kid. And Spanner says, just decapitate her or something. It's a little girl. If we could get to, like, the child form, I have a feeling, like, yeah, they wouldn't be that durable. But the problem is, Zonda has a bunch of different forms. And I have a feeling the child, if I know my game design, the child is going to be like an insanely powerful ranged attacker. Gunvolt would have a much easier time with this, this boss, because he could just lock onto all of the mirrors and, like, both forms when they invert the world, in a way that we can't. Copen's insanely powerful, but he only has the one target lock. Oh, so this really is the end of the game, aside from, like, the DLC stages, isn't it? I have a feeling that, like, Gunvolt's endgame probably sees him refight the other bosses? Unless there's, like, an extra stage we have, no way of knowing. Oh, please tell me they're not going to take my special moves away. No, 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 it's just the shards. Don't worry. Just the things Zonda needs to, like, destroy an entire country. As long as they don't take my special moves away, I don't care. So we've gone from, like, discount Yugimoto in the first game to a very small child in the second one. I have a feeling they weren't going for very intimidating antagonist design. Hannah says, as long as you have your items, the country can perish for all you care. Well, yeah, absolutely. Well, so in the first game, we had to fight basically a bunch of human supremacists who were controlling... think Shinra from Final Fantasy VII. It was exactly the Shinra Corporation. They were taking a bunch of these metahumans and draining their energy in order to power, like, a really advanced futuristic state. In this game, we're fighting a bunch of metahumans led by this child as, like, an oracle, who are trying to create a metahuman supremacist state, a la Magneto and the Brotherhood from the X-Men. And I feel like these folks are slightly more sympathetic than the first. Oh, Lord, what is this? The hell? So I'm not crazy about this character design, but I like that it's easily the second largest boss we've seen in this series. Oh, this is gonna suck, isn't it? MC says, yo, kids are scary? I don't know. I tend to work well with kids, but these kids are scary, definitely. So she's using some kind of cards to attack? What is this? There's got to be multiple phases to this, right? Because is it just me, or is this much easier than Zonda's first phase? The Reverie Mirror. Alright. Holy Lord. Okay. I have no idea what is going on. Oh, let's see what this form's ult is. Oh, it's all of the other bosses. There's the disco rapper, there's the chef. Sure would be great if I could damage you at any point. Oh no. Hold on. Might want to heal in a bit. Oh, speaking of healing, that's exactly what Zonda's doing, so maybe we can't attack them at all when they've got that crystal shield active, or they'll heal? Hold on. Hannah says, the hair and wings are neat, don't care for her clothing. Agreed entirely. I'd like something a bit less sexualized, especially given, like, their natural form. Like, it's the original sins of anime character design are really prevalent in this character. And hey, her wings change design. Yes, they do. It looks like they've got 4 different forms. Okay, so we don't want to attack them while the shield is active, right? Hold on, do they have... We'll use our heal real quick. Is that one of mine up there? No, it's not. Oh god, here it comes again. Thankfully, I can just hide through most of this. Oh, Even that one. It's oddly appropriate that Zonda's brother is probably the most difficult to deal with here. No, stop healing yourself. Okay, so that's actually an independent heal. So we do want to break the shield, and we can. That's lovely. Good. Good to know. Is that it? If so, this is much easier than Nova was in the first game. I love the effect on their voice, though. That distortion, it sounds like a radio broadcast or something, I guess, because she fused with the electronic muse adept. So do we just get our sister back and that's it? Yes? And she says compatible. It's... Oh! Wow, we actually did really well on time. Rank A on the final stage? You kidding me? I played terribly. I guess Copen's just that good. Oh, what is this? Electromotive Graham. I've never seen, like, a red prize before, I don't think. Oh, and some radioactive materials. Those are great. Those are always... Yeah. Huh, so, end of the game? Oh, that's a look. That's an expression. So, I guess Meadle's power is drained. I held Meadle next to me. She was cold. Still. Lifeless. Gone. She was always so weak, but I still didn't... And, again, he's directing all his anger at the metahumans, one of which is, like, the poor little sister we're cradling in our arms right now, for the sins of the power company that were originally responsible for killing his father and, like, seeking to abuse his sister's power. And again, remember, everything Zonda did in this game was a reaction to the abuses of the Sumeragi Corporation in the first game. And also the fact that Copen kind of killed, or tried to kill, Zonda in the first game. All of this was reactionary. Hey, it's the guy the game is actually named after. I'm curious to see what his campaign would be like. Would it play out similarly, just with Jewel and the AI? Oh, are you kidding me, dude? Yeah, so there is a special stage, no doubt, that is only available to us. Yeah, no, that's what I expect. MC says, I wonder if the good ending is attainable by completing both quest lines. I'd imagine so. So, like, we played through all those stages, right? And unless I'm spectacularly unobservant, which, I mean, yeah, people who actually know me can tell you that's a distinct possibility. I didn't see anything like the special little gems we had to collect in the first game to unlock the true final stage. So I'm thinking just playing through the full game with both characters is necessary to actually unlock the full ending, or like a series of final stages. And I'm imagining fights against the other members of Zonda's Guardians that we didn't see brought back for the endgame boss rush. So that would be Aquaman, the internet troll kid, and the bat, the vampire bat, I think? Because we saw the others, right? Yeah. So, though, based off of what we've seen, Azure Striker Gunvolt 2, final thoughts? For now, at least, based off of this campaign, I really liked it. So, some issues from the first game in terms of, like, just baseline gameplay do remain. Principally concerning that crafting system. I really like that based upon your performance in a stage, you get to pull more crafting materials from, like, that grid. But it still feels like such a grind to develop even the most fundamental components or accessories that it does feel like less of an incentive to just replay stages and get better grades and complete challenges, all of which are really, really good elements of the design, I would argue. And more like an incentive, or more like a cheap way to artificially inflate the length of a game that isn't super long to begin with, but again, I think this was originally just a strictly downloadable title as well, maybe? Kinda, sorta? It was released in 16, I want to say. And I think this one, those minor gripes aside, is a really significant improvement upon the first game that builds off of its structure in all of the ways I would really like an initial sequel to do, right? I've talked about this on stream before. I think in a good franchise, the base game, the first entry, serves as really a mechanical proof of concept. Here is the baseline of what the series is, here's what it's about, and then good sequels iterate and expand upon that in ways that are sensible and executed relatively well. I did like Spyro 3 in, like, the Reignited trilogy, but my biggest gripe with it is still it kind of discarded a lot of the really solid foundation the previous games had introduced in favor of this weird, what I've heard referred to as a gameplay roulette, just a bunch of different mini games, one after the other, after the other, after the other, without much of that really solid baseline gameplay, or as much as we'd like. This built upon the concept of the original really well. I didn't have the opportunity to play as much of Gunvolt's gameplay as I'd like to in the opening stages to really gauge this, but it looks like most of his gameplay is largely the same, but, like, improved through additional skills and equipment and things like that, everything you'd like to see. But the introduction of Copen as a playable character is just really... Oh yeah, definitely. MC says, to be fair, Spyro 2 did build up from the first. It did, far and away. It was, in that regard, a really great sequel by my standards. As was Year of the Dragon. It just kind of... It took a lot of gambles and didn't exactly see a return on all of them. But the introduction of Copen in this game is a really nice addition. Again, I would compare him actually less to Zero from the Mega Man X series and more like Axel, the character who was introduced for X7 and X8, because his entire gameplay was based around, collecting special moves not just from bosses, but certain enemies in stages, and being really, really adaptable, and building onto this modular base character that wasn't anything special, with a plethora of really cool availability. MC says Spyro 3 pushed everything to the extreme. Azure Striker Gunvolt lacks skateboards, in my opinion. No. It is a testament to this game's quality that it does not include tacked-on skateboard stages that may or may not have driven me to complete and utter consternation. At the end of a really great platformer, why do you tack on a really difficult skateboarding stage as part of the victory lap? Why would you do that? That's a bad idea. Insomniac, that was a bad idea. I'm glad you left that behind and went on to do Ratchet and Clank. Hannah says everything is improved with skateboards. You've not seen Spyro 3, have you? Okay, so we've got game clear data. And yeah, they definitely want us to play through this as Gunvolt. And I'm curious, folks. Let's, Oh. I guess this is like the DLC stages? But to sum up my thoughts, I think this is a really fantastic game that iterates upon the first, in every way we would care to see. And now we can, like, dive into Gunvolt's story, which we'll just take a look at, see what's available to him. before diving into Dark Souls 2 tomorrow and cutting the stream because we are rapidly approaching 3 hours. I decided it was time for a new outfit. Yeah, that's better than the first games. I like that. That's Quinn. She's human. No hint of Septima. Powerful Sumeragi group tried to enslave all adepts. They used the Diva Project to control the Muse's Septima. Yeah, so that little AI sprite over his shoulder has the special ability to hypnotize and command adepts, if properly amplified. This version can't, because it's not being enhanced by Sumeragi's broadcast technology. We fought them and won, but had no home left to return to. Quinn offered us shelter despite the personal risk. So I'm interested to see what Gunvolt's new team is like in this game, but I'm also not really looking forward to super creepy interactions between him and the Muse, or the fairy. Guy talking about the duds is Chao Wu. Chao for short. He's an adept who used to be with Quill, just like me. He's from another country, so we never worked together. I didn't meet him until after I'd left Quill. That was the adept supremacist organization, or like secretly supremacist organization that Gunvolt worked for largely as a contractor in the first game, and whose leader we took out as the post-final like super boss in that game after we had like more or less 100%ed the base stages. The shards that Copen was collecting were actually parts of Jewel, the AI Muse. And since he only has one of them, she appears in that really, like, tiny fairy form. Jewel lives inside me now. It's complicated. He has electrical powers, so he can sustain the Muse even without her physical form or her body, which technically died at the end of the first game. Quinn and I are the only ones who can hear her. Not sure why Quinn has that ability. So Gunvolt, aside from like a couple of points in the first game, is far and away a more likable protagonist than Copen. He's not on like a genocidal campaign throughout like all of his adventures. Jal feigns loyalty to Quill for the connections. It's how he gets gear and intel for my missions. I think his homeland's already under Eden's control. He lost many friends to those scumbags, so he worked with me to try and take them down. His local Quill branch is now under Eden's thumb, so he turned to someone who'd left Quill. Me. Definitely gonna contest that, MC. I mean, unless you're trying to, like, get rid of all the toads from, like, Mario RPGs, I would say no. No, definitely not. Oh, we're getting this again? I would... Yeah, that makes sense, because it's like a brand new campaign. And we could have chosen this from the start. So in Copen's campaign, our mission control were, I think technically like his household's employees. And I actually really liked them. I liked... NC says, I mean, if you go down a path to rid the world of all evil, you are committing a genocide. Depending on whether or not you are in, like, a fantasy setting where... And I typically hate settings that are this bereft of nuance. But, where, like, all of the evil is... Yeah, exactly. Hannah asks, how do you define evil? If it's like those baseline, like, stereotypical fantasy universes where, oh... all of the orcs, the entire species, is evil by default, and absolutely nobody else is. if it's good world building, it shouldn't be easy to determine. I agree wholeheartedly. That's why my favorite RPGs are those where even, like, members of stereotypically evil or, like, at the very least, not necessarily evil. I'm thinking, like, goblins in fantasy settings. Shall we say mischievous or disruptive species can be good or heroic or selfless, even if they're not necessarily, accepted by mainstream society. I like that kind of world building. Jewel seems alright for the moment, but I don't know how this will affect her down the line. We need to recover those shards as fast as possible. So this is way more anime than the Mega Man Zero series I grew up with. MC says this is why paladins are often the most dangerous individuals in fantasy setting. Among the most dangerous, definitely. So let's see. Yeah, see? This is cool. So, GV has the same Frozen City stage, but 3 completely distinct stages that will see him fight the Guardians who were saved for Copen's endgame. So the Vampire Bat, Aquaman, and then Internet Kid in like cyberspace from the 90s again, which is cool. Let's see what his loadout looks like. Yeah, this is everything from the first game. Nice. So the Muse's Pendant grants Prevasion. Still nice. Everything else is as he began with in the first game, except this is new. Clips. We could not equip clips in the first game. Oh, so the tags are, or the number of tags, are totally distinct from the weapon, I think? And they appear to be named after, well, based on this, either archangels, Renaissance artists, and or Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles. I really hope it's the latter. So we do have different skills once again. We have the Astrosphere and the heal. Yeah, we'll go ahead and equip the heal. But let's have a look at what we've got ahead of us this time. We can replay the gunship stages if we'd like. Well, I should say the gunship stage and then just like a battle with a really weak Tianjin. And aside from his stage, which would be largely the same, I want to say. Except we run into Copen halfway through. We've got brand new stages to tuck into, which we shall do in 2 days' time. Unfortunately, we're going to have to cut the stream there, as we are now a fair ways over 3 hours in, but I want to very quickly extend my heartfelt gratitude towards all of you wonderful folks who have joined us, whether silently in the audience, I should say, or active in chat for today's stream. As we completed one of Gunvolt 2's campaigns, we'll be tucking into the second one in a couple days' time, as tomorrow I get to take you guys through one of my very, very favorite games of all time. Dark Souls 2, the Scholar of the First Sin edition for the PlayStation 4 and Xbox One, I believe? Yeah, it was released on that console as well, which incorporates all 3 wonderful DLCs, probably some of the best DLC the series has ever seen, as well as totally reworked enemy and item placement. And, oh my god, Dark Souls 2 is one of my favorite games of all time, and also probably one of the games with which I am most experienced and knowledgeable. I really, really can't wait to share that with you guys. This game's world building is a little, Dark Souls 2's world building is absolutely phenomenal, and I can't wait to explore its nuanced and intricate, sprawling friggin' lore with some of you guys. The short version of what that game has to offer, like if you just want one sentence that demonstrates the wonders that Dark Souls 2 has to offer, there is a religion to which you can pledge yourself and strive for, like it's its own little like quest line with unique rewards and all that, that lets you become an in-game boss in multiple locations, expand the tricks and traps which are available in your little mini dungeon, with items gleaned from victories against players, and serve your god a benevolent and extremely noble giant rat living in a crypt, like who is lord of the sewers. And legitimately, I will make this case to our audience live. The kindest, most honest character in the entire series. Oh, the Rat King Covenant, I've missed it so much. Hannah says, glad I could watch some of the stream. Likewise, I'm so glad you could join us. And I hate it was just for like sort of the end game, because the really cool character designs, the ones that are somewhat less stereotypically anime, were unfortunately covered like really towards the front of the stream. But yeah, and didn't even realize Dark Souls had lore. How about that? Okay, so Dark Souls is terrible at communicating lore. Most of it is like buried in item descriptions, which is, I think, an interesting idea because it allows players who are just focused on running through the game and don't really care about world building to, well, focus on what they enjoy, and has like a massive lore compendium in the form of your inventory that expands as you explore the world and find little treasures and go out of your way. Which, I mean, yeah, there's problems with that, but I think it's a really interesting, like, method of conveyance, and one that is tied to an actual lore that's really, really cool. But yeah, definitely. So thank you guys again all so much. If you're watching this as a VOD after the fact on YouTube, thank you for your patronage. Thank you all for sharing yourselves and your time with me this afternoon. And that's very true. MC says if you want to know more about Solaire, you have to kill Solaire and get his items. Well, if you want to get all his items, but we'll talk about that tomorrow. Please join me tomorrow from roughly 2 p.m. Central Time for our premiere stream of Scholar of the First Sin. I want to... Oh, thank you so much, Hannah. Same to you. I hope you have a wonderful rest of your evening. I hope you guys can join me for, yeah, one of my favorite games. Until then, take care. And have a wonderful, wonderful day. Bye-bye.